All right, guys, here's the deal. Coffee has been lying to you. It promises you energy, but it leaves you jittery, crashing, and wondering why you're staring at your ceiling at midnight. This is where Mudwater comes in. It's a coffee alternative. It's smooth, steady, and packed with all the good stuff. Cacao, chai, lion's mane, chaga, reishi, turmeric, and cinnamon. You want a metaphor? It's like coffee went on a yoga retreat and came back chill and ditched the caffeine chaos. I've been there. Groggy mornings, brain fog, 3 p.m. slumps. But Mudwater flipped the script. It gives you clean energy without the crash. Plus no sugar, no junk. Just clean, natural ingredients, guys, that work. Put a scoop in a cup, mix it around with some water, you're good to go. And here's the deal. My listeners get free shipping, a free rechargeable frother, and I'm going to help you save up to 43%. Head to Mudwater, MUDWTR.com. Use my code Chael, and you can say goodbye to caffeine jitters forever. Because life's too short for bad coffee decisions. And remember, if you don't change something this year, it's not a new year, it's just another year. I want you to have a new year and a better you. Go to Mudwater. Use my promo code. You're welcome. Jon and Tom. Boy, what a difference a day makes, guys. Here we are. We've celebrated the holidays, whatever one that might be for you. We've had the turning of a new year. We had a presidential election here in America. And we've had a couple of weeks. There really is nothing of significance, particularly time, that has separated the Madison Square Garden event where Tom Aspinall sat front row, fought Jon Jones. Jon Jones getting asked about Tom, Tom getting asked about Jon. They started their little media tour. They started their little push for each other. The company said nothing other than, obviously, that's the fight. It's just the company's way of saying, don't think we're going to play games. Yes, we know these two need to fight. Great. Jon with a little resistance, getting the fans worked up. Tom with a little insistence, getting the fans worked up. Jon saying, I'm not going to honor my contract. It's not enough. Tom saying, I don't even know what my contract is. I just want to fight that guy. Felt like we had some really good pieces there. Felt we had a lot of back and forth. But besides a holiday, a new year, an election, and a couple of weeks, but besides that, where did that talk go? I couldn't do a Google search and find it. I couldn't go to ChatGTP and find anything of any recency to do with Jon and Tom. And I'm just sharing for you, usually in this sport, when things go quiet, when things were hot and things go quiet, a deal is done. Usually. But I don't make that prediction for you. Jon Jones has a very specific way that he builds and works towards a fight. And he just hasn't, we just haven't chalked enough of the things off that Jon does. Jon's tells, if you would. We just haven't chalked enough tells off. And one thing about a Jon Jones fight that is just part of that process is it's important for him, for whatever reason, that it appears that it's his idea. So as far as keeping the policy of keeping one's mouth shut, I don't know that it would fully apply in a Jon Jones situation. I'm just bringing that to you because I don't actually know. But there is something that is for sure amiss. And how'd that happen? How did that go completely quiet? It is nearly impossible to control numbers on something that is a constant conversation. So did we see a move here? Did we see a move that we're not familiar with? Is that why it went quiet? Or is that fight done? Now, what could get in the way of Jon and Tom? And there is something that could get in the way. Now, Jon Jones is not going to be offered 2 fights. Okay? He's only going to be offered Tom. The other option is walk. It will quite literally be, here's your fight or there is no fight. And that is true for right now. I mean, it wasn't but 4 weeks ago Pantoja was inviting Demetrius Johnson to come back, and we all love the idea. Like the greatest Demetrius idea that we've ever fallen in love with, and we loved that one. So time can change some things. But win or lose with Alex Pereira and Ankalaev, Pereira becomes a heavyweight. And I feel like that's one of the larger parts of the story that's missed. Well, Pereira can't get up to heavyweight. And the talk of Pereira and Aspinall, just for fun. Well, we can never do that. He's got Ankalaev, and if he loses to Ankalaev, he's not moving up to heavyweight. And if he beats Ankalaev, he's probably going to have to defend against, is it going to be Yuri again? I mean, I'm just sharing for you. Your mind is actually remembering that wrong. Ankalaev is a 2-1 favorite to beat Pereira. Ankalaev is the only, my own partners at DraftKings, they have one line on. They got mythical bets in every which way. They got rematches against Roundtree, rematches against Lionheart. They got like 10 different opponents for Alex. And there's only one where Alex isn't the favorite. And it's Ankalaev, and it's 2-1. Now, if that turned out to be true, that's the best way to get Pereira to heavyweight. Is off the loss, not off the win. Off the loss, vacating a belt is a cardinal sin in the UFC. Leaving a division is not. Competing at a different division is not. And it's actually how Pereira got to light heavyweight, and that's the part that many of you are misremembering. Alex Pereira did not clean out 185 pounds and therefore walked away. Alex Pereira actually stayed at 185 and kept fighting no matter how hard that cut was. He actually never complained one time. We all looked at it and talked about how much Pereira's got to cut. And oh my gosh, that must be hard. He actually never said it one time. When he lost, that's when he moved up. And that is in line with a UFC policy. If you are not the champion or the number one contender, you can leave divisions. So if Alex Pereira is to go through with what DraftKings said, and he is to lose, if that's to happen, that's how he's going to find himself at heavyweight. And if he finds himself at heavyweight coming off of a loss, you think, what are you going to do with him? Can't put him in for a championship fight. Like, you'd be making a very good point. It's just a matter of they don't need to. They can put him in for an interim championship fight. And that's where, right now you're playing a game against the clock. How quick do Tom and John want to get done? Whatever these numbers are today, they and their managers will assure them that if they wait and wait and wait, those numbers will be more tomorrow. And historically, there's plenty of evidence for that. Historically, the managers would actually know what time it is for the most part, but that's because there's an unforeseen, which is if there's a fight that people want to see more. And right now at heavyweight, those guys have all stood back. Every heavyweight has stood down. There's not a line of guys. I mean, Ciryl Gane should be full force ahead after Tom Aspinall. Full force ahead after that interim title. And it doesn't matter if Ciryl gets that fight or not. If Aspinall beats Jones, Ciryl just sticks on the top and he's going to be first in line, right? There's no heavyweight that is screwing things up more right now than Ciryl. Ciryl needs to be full force ahead on Tom. He doesn't need to say interim championship. He needs to say Tom. If Tom ends up with John, Ciryl needs to stay the course and stay after him. That would be the smartest chess play that you could make. And the only reason I say Ciryl's screwing it up, Ciryl is the only one good enough, with record enough, handsome, charming, and likable enough by you guys to actually get a title fight. The rest of them are interchangeable mediocrities. And that's just the truth. They still have an opportunity to separate themselves from the field, but they have yet to do that. And I just think it's important that you understand. Ankalaev versus Pereira, like there were so many people that were resisting that match because it was not a big enough match. That Ankalaev wouldn't bring quite enough flair to it. The match has the flair because win or lose, it's the last time you're going to see Pereira as a non-heavyweight. And I think that concept is fascinating.